Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Hello everybody and welcome in to Winter is Blooming, a Game of Thrones rewatch podcast by us, the Penny Bloom Podcast. Happy New Year, baby. Let's talk the Battle of the Bastards, Season 6, Episode 9, premiered June 19th, 2016, written by D&D, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, and directed by Miguel Sapochnik. I am Colton Robertson. I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you, especially today.
Yeah.
2024, baby. What better way to ring it in than with the Battle of the Bastards? How are you feeling?
Yeah, we've been waiting for this one for quite some time. Pretty much ever since we started the project, it was always a milestone to get to here. And now that we're here, afraid that we might have overhyped it a little bit, but all of those worries have gone away after watching. I think if anything, I don't know. If anything, I might have underhyped it a little. Well, I don't know. I think it's just, it is what it is. It is what everyone knows that it is. And it got even better on this watch for me. I don't know. I
had the same worries. You know, I had the worry that I'd kind of overvalued it. I knew it would still be cool regardless. You know, like I was like, it's gonna be a 10 enjoyment probably regardless. But the critical side of it, I wasn't sure, and I was floored, even in comparison to weeks past and early runnings of the show. Like it's astonishing. This is a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just because it is such a grand episode. There is so many moving parts that they had to think of every little minute moment in the episode. Because it feels like, there is not a bad moment in this episode. Like even the talks leading up to the battle. And I know I'm talking only the North here, but even the stuff in Marine is awesome. The whole episode, it's incredible. And I remember Marine kind of started out as the first maybe 5-10 minutes, and then I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, is that it? Like, are we in the North the rest of the time? And we pop back.
We cut back there once.
Yeah.
For a 5-6 minute scene?
Yeah. All the stuff in Marine was epic. Like, to open with that, and it was already pretty awesome. And then to pop back there and get a little more, but I think the true strength of the episode is everything that happens in the North. But
the North.
Yeah, but none of it's bad. Yeah.
Marine was when I texted you, and I was like, "Is this the grandest episode of television ever created?" Prior to the Battle of the Bastards,
yeah, you knew what was coming, and we already got freaking.
I just never thought of it in that context. The idea that they did something quite literally that had never been done before.
I wonder the budget. I know there was 600 crew, people on set for this episode. I think 500 of them were extras that they just had a shit ton of horses. They had just a crap ton of people that probably didn't get paid a whole lot, if I had to assume.
They got paid for the day and called it good.
I guess true. Looks like precise cost, it seems north of $10 million, but that's the average episode of season 6. And it says anything but the Battle of the Bastards was not average. So if they normally spend $10 million on an episode, I'd say this is like at least double that. If I had to guess, I don't know, but it looks like they just said it's around 10 million per episode. There's no specifics on how much it was, but man, yes, they were cooking. They were cooking. I mean, it was just everything was on fire. So,
but yeah, if you're ready, I can start us in Marine.
I think we shall. Oh yeah.
Daenerys and Tyrion briefly discuss the plan to deal with the slaver fleet as the pyramid is bombarded with flaming cannonballs. I love that whole scene. Besides the present moment, you will find that the city is on the rise.
We're doing okay, actually. I think let's look at the bright side here.
And he's like, "There's a reason they're doing this. It's because we're doing good." And she's like, and he does kind of win her over. She's like, I mean, yeah, that all tracks.
Like,
that makes sense.
She's like, yeah, good.
The rationale he uses where he's like, they can't let a city without slaves succeed, because if they do, it proves that nobody needs any masters. And she's like, okay, yeah, that's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and figure this out then.
All right. Yeah. I already have a plan. And she's like, oh, I got it. I got a plan already.
I know what I'm gonna do.
No problem. I just want to kill them all. Actually,
I'm gonna slaughter their army. I'm going to burn their fleet, and then I'm gonna go to their cities and return them to the dust. And Tyrion's like, and Tyrion like kind of winces, and she's like, "You don't like this?" And he's like, I think I gotta think that there's something else we can do. You once told me you knew what your father was, and she's like, yes, and this is completely different. He goes, well, you're talking about burning cities to the ground. It's not. It's not completely different.
Not actually, and makes the comparison to her father. And you get the little mention of wildfire again. A little,
and where it's at. It was under every major venue. It was under this. It was under the Sept of Baelor. It was under.
A little foreshadowing for next episode, and a little foreshadowing as well for Dany's arrival in King, or what she does in King's Landing eventually. It's never was out of the question. Even right now, she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking do it. And Tyrion has to be the one to be like, I mean,
it's been in every single, we're in season 6 now. There is no, oh, she's found a way here by herself.
Yep.
Every single turn, if she's ever wanted to do this, someone else has been like, well, I think we could figure something else out. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're probably right. It's her gut instinct every single place she fucking goes.
Yeah. And she's young. It's like, what, she's like 18? Is she, right? I wonder, how old is she?
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious to think about. But yeah, no, she's very, very set on her way, and thankfully Tyrion was here. Or else who knows how bad it could have gotten if she just was allowed to just do what she wanted to do.
No, I mean, I think that's it. It's wildly interesting to frame her in this light, where this is so. It's so casual for her. She's like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna burn their cities to the ground, and that's all I'm gonna do. We'll call it good from there.
I guess
I don't know. You're not just killing the people you want to kill in that scenario, Danny. You gotta.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like it should be her final resort sort of thing. It's like if she absolutely needs to, she can burn cities to the ground. She has the capability. She has everything. Well, I guess not everything quite yet, but even right now, before she gains the fleet, before she gains all of this, she has 3 dragons still. And it's just, I mean, we do see one get taken down, I guess,
But that's by a magical entity with a fucking cannon.
Come on. Yeah.
Just an absolute dot.
Is Braun? No. For some reason, I feel like Bronn was the one to shoot it, but I feel like it's just a nobody. I feel like it's just they have a bunch of them, and it just, you know.
Euron shoots.
Oh,
Rhaegal.
It's Euron?
Yeah.
That's way worse. Yeah, that sucks. But that's okay. We're a little, I guess, is that like at the very beginning? Like, is that like start of season 7? Because like she's on her. I guess I'm jumping the gun.
No, I mean like she doesn't lose a dragon until season 7, episode 6, when the Night King kills Viserion.
That's the first one to go.
Yes.
Okay.
The second one doesn't die until season 8, episode 4.
Hello, yeah, duh. She goes. Okay, I got the order wrong. I thought for some reason when she arrived in King's Landing, one went down, and then she went up north, and then the other.
We got a ways to go before that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we're next treated to a scene where Daenerys, Tyrion, Missandei, and Grey Worm meet with the Masters. Razdal Mo Araz of Yunkai, Baliko Penamian of Volantis, and Yazan Zoquagaz of Estapor. It's probably my favorite name in Game of Thrones. Yazan Zoquagaz. Wow. But they tell Dany that they will let her and Tyrion leave the city if they hand over the Unsullied, and Missandei be resold into slavery and allow her dragons to be slaughtered. And she's like, oh, wait a second. No. We're not talking my surrender. We're talking your surrender, you fucking idiots. I don't know how you could possibly think you have the upper hand here.
Yeah, they look behind them and they're like, well,
this looks pretty over, if you ask me.
They actually do. I mean, I guess the last time they saw her dragons, they were not, I guess, like, yeah, do people not know of the size of them, or, because, like, the last time they saw them, they were, did some damage, but they weren't anything bad.
I don't know, man. The thing about Essos is that Drogon just kind of flies around. There's no mystery about Drogon over there anymore. Like,
that's fair. Yeah, he just eats everywhere. So people have got to be like, damn, yeah, this big ass dragon just killed.
There is a fucking giant bird in the sky.
Damn. Yeah, I guess
it is hurting us.
Yeah, I don't know how they thought they had the upper hand, really.
I just don't know. Like, it was fucking mind numbing to watch this, and there's another moment later on where I kind of had similar feelings about 1-1. But like Drogon, like you don't have a fucking chance if you don't have a way to kill that dragon.
Yeah.
Even just him. She doesn't need all 3 of them. And she's got 3 of them. Like, you're fucked.
Like, how the fuck do you kill that? Like, I mean, even the way we get one killed, like the Night King, sure.
It's not satisfactory.
Whatever. But like, yeah, it's like, really? That's what did it? Like, I mean, sure. But I guess you gotta have some challenge somehow.
Yeah.
Some conflict. And
just really big spear flying really fucking fast.
Yeah.
But, I love there's a shot of the leader, like, standing there, and you see just, like, in the background in the distance, you see wings flapping, and they haven't, they haven't played the music or anything, but Dany's, like, looking at him, and she's like, oh, yeah, y'all don't even fucking know yet, man.
If anyone has played Skyrim, the opening scene, the big boy dragon Alduin, he lands just like Drogon lands right on this building and intimidates everyone. I don't know, it reminds me of it every time I see it. But Drogon it looks so much better, just graphic-wise, because Skyrim's like, that's 2011 graphics. This Drogon is looking clean. He is looking menacing as hell here.
It just blows my mind how far even now they've come. Like, they look even better in House of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
like, this was 7 years ago. This was so fucking long ago now. And they're just, like, washing themselves. As far as how, like, there are points in this episode where visual effects, like, it's still incredible. It's still a massive feat for television. They've washed this in terms of visual effects. I don't think that, like, critically, I don't think they've touched this episode before or since. But
visual effects wise, no, it's
and it's incredibly clean. You know, don't get me wrong. Like there's the heightened fantasy of it, which makes it like they stylize the visual effects to kind of fit that, and that's perfect. You know, like that is how you should handle that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I
They're still trying to make it look very real here. You know, very kind of real world. It is still heightened fantasy a bit, but House of the Dragon, they took that up a notch.
Yeah,
But yeah, it is crazy that it is 7 years ago though that you said that. But
yeah, she looks at the masters and is like, all right, so y'all think on that. I'm gonna go ahead and mount my dragon, and we'll figure something out when I get back. Okay, deuces.
Yep.
Hops on Drogon, flies on out. She just like looks at the pyramid. She's like, all right, well, they're gonna burst out of the side of that motherfucker now. There they are. Okay, we're good. Let's roll. Yeah. And then we finally see, for the first time ever, all three of them doing some fucking damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Just I love how in my head I thought that she did more damage than this, but I love how it's just one ship. One ship is all they needed to destroy.
Want the ships.
Because obviously. I didn't think about that. I thought we were just going to get, you know, just them going through all of them and just blowing them all up. But then I'm like, oh yeah, she needs these. So just destroy one and scare the hell out of everyone else.
And I fucking love, there's the introduction to the Dothraki as led by Dario Naharis, which is fucking baller. Whenever they're like slaughtering, the Sons of the Harpy are like slaughtering people in the city gates. You just hear the, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, and then you see them all just like riding. I'm like, yeah, dude, no, that was baller. But then we also have after Daenerys is gone and everything, Grey Worm and Tyrion kind of step up, and he's like, Dany says that one of y'all has to die for the sins of, you know, what you've done here. You've betrayed our truce, you know, like we said, if you ever came back and you came before us, like, something bad was going to happen, and now something bad's going to happen. So, like, which one of you
guys? Can't really do that. One of you has to go. Sorry about it, but
and I've always loved this. I've always loved this move. All right, which one of you is going to die? Him. Kill him. He's not one of us. He's lowborn. And then he kneels, and Grey Worm cuts the other two dudes' throats right over the top of him. All the while, Tyrion's not looking. I don't know if you noticed that. He's like staring off into the distance behind them. He's actively turned away from the camera. You only see the back of his head.
I did notice that. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
So he's doesn't have the stomach for this, for executions.
Okay. I mean, at Blackwater, he was there. I guess not for long, but he got knocked out. But I feel like he would
also.
Execution's a little different. I guess
it's a little distant. It's a little distant. You know, like the stuff he saw, like it was fire in the distance and screams and etc. Probably still not fun. But this is also not like a clean cut execution.
It's not. Not painless. Here,
throat slashed. Not great.
That's gotta suck. That's just gotta.
Yeah, no, it's gotta suck real bad. But yeah, they go ahead and select the one, and Tyrion goes up to Yazan and goes, "All right, tell everyone what you've seen here today, and if anybody ever has any machinations to go ahead and do it again, remind them what happened when Daenerys Stormborn and her dragons came to Slaver's Bay."
Yeah, I think she's not going to be messed with again. After this one,
Bay of Dragons.
That was.
And the aftermath, Dany and Tyrion meet with Theon and Yara, who have arrived in the city, and they offer Dany their fleet of 100-man ships if she will help them deal with Euron and support their claim to the Iron Islands. And Tyrion is wary of Theon based on what he saw of him in Winterfell, you know, and it's clear that Tyrion hasn't heard a lot of what Theon's gone through since. Because at one point I'd be right there with Tyrion, And right now I'm like, man, stop piling on the kid. He's
no, he was like, you make fun of me. You all say the same thing about dwarfs, and you did it to me, Theon, and you just you gotta suck, right? Like you murdered those Stark boys. You're just
I didn't do that, but I did a lot of shit.
No, I didn't. Terrible. I did something worse. And then Yara's like, but he's been through a lot. He knows, and it turns like obviously not enough. He's still alive, and then like you just see Theon like, oh fuck, he's like shit, man. He's like, damn,
you see Theon kind of like shrink as in like there are worse things than dying, bruh, and I've done that. Like I've been through that.
He would have rather been dead quite a long time ago.
He begged for death for like a whole season. Mm-hmm. Like that is an entire season worth of episodes of going to Theon. He was going, please fucking kill me. Like that's that's not light.
But Tyrion just he likes to get in his jabs. He's feeling taller than Theon right now. He's up with Dany.
Like, what's up? What's up?
They're looking down.
I also love that Dany. Dany doesn't know these people, so like she's got to let Tyrion talk to like kind of air it out. And there comes a point whenever she kind of like, she kind of looks at him and like nods a little bit, like that's all right.
All right, let's see what they're here for. Let's let them talk a little bit. But yeah, poor little Theon. But then Yara finally gets her word in, or Theon's. I think Daenerys says something like, "Well, all this being said, why should I? Why is your claim so strong or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, not mine." Theon's like, "Not me. I am not fit to rule." And even Tyrion gets another little jab, and he's like, "Yeah, obviously, we agree on that, at least." And then
he keeps fucking going for it, bro.
Like even after it's all over, he's like, "I'm not fit to rule," and not me. Tyrion, obviously, but no, it's for Yara, my sister. She is the one who should lead.
And then it happens, of course. Daenerys and Yara take off all their clothes and have sex right here in the throne room.
In case you missed it, I don't know if you have the extended version or not, but it is definitely canon. They fucked for
sure. They have sex. It's a guarantee.
Yeah.
Just given every single way they look at each other. Yeah, that definitely happens.
Oh, I mean, the amount of like eye perk ups that Daenerys had of like, a woman.
I love when she does that little thing with her eyebrows. She does.
Yes. Oh yeah. The little grin and the little perk up. And then she, has Westeros or has the Iron Islands ever had a queen?
As many as the Seven Kingdoms.
She's like, she does it again. She does it again. Like, all right, Yara.
She can't help but like Yara. Like at least and at the bare minimum as just like a fellow powerful chick. She's like, okay, I absolutely want to back this chick's claim to the Iron Islands. Like.
And Tyrion being like, what if everyone starts asking for their independence now? What are we doing? Yeah. Oh, that's true. And then she's like,
she's not demanding. She's asking, and everyone else can ask.
Yeah. Like, so what I'm assuming I shall have to do something in order, you're coming here. What shall I do? And like, you help us kill an uncle or two, and you just give us the Iron Islands. That's it. That's all we need. And Dany's like, fair enough.
She's like, we could absolutely do that. So one condition, you have to stop being the way you are.
This is true. Yeah, this is our way of life, Yara says.
And Daenerys is like, well, it certainly doesn't have to be, does it?
Yep. Not anymore. And Yara agrees.
I also loved the little suggestion here where Daenerys says, we're all the children of terrible men. Or of terrible fathers. And like, that is the theme of this room.
I think Yara is even like, we have that in common. Our dads sucked. And I love the Daenerys being like, so, the marriage comes up, or whatever. Oh, Euron. They are like, she's like, why don't I just wait for Euron? And he's like, well, he does want to offer you, his big cock, I think he said, is how he put it, and it's not. You only get one with the other. That's the only way it's going to work. And Daenerys is like, "Oh, well, what about you? Is marriage in the air?" And she's like, "Well, I didn't really think about it, but I'm down for anything. You know, like that was pretty. I mean, that's the line that is kind of like, all right, they're fucking.
Yeah,
you know?
no, and that's
that,
the one that
like,
Daenerys has the most overt reaction to, too, where she looks
like,
at her and she,
ooh, do I have to marry a
yeah,
man?
she
She's like,
pauses for a second.
ooh, the possibility here, 2 queens.
She's like, oh, okay, hold the phone. I
Mm-hmm.
fucks with you, Yara. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I gotta wrap my head around that one. But yeah, no, they seal their pact with the arm shake. And I loved that. Might as well have kissed.
Well, they did. They did.
Well,
They full on. They got all, not first base, not second, not third. They went all the way home.
They went all the way. They were like, hey, they shook hands there, and they were like, Tyrion, Theon, leave.
Yeah. Yar, meet me in my private quarters. We need to discuss matters further. Please. Alone. And definitely did. So I'm glad that it is canon, and absolutely I will.
No, that's book accurate. In fact, that happened in the books.
Can't wait to get there.
Winds of Winter. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it yet. That definitely happens in that book.
Do you get an early release? That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
But now we are in the north.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't remember if I had any favorites in Marine. I don't think I did.
I think the North was pretty dominant. I was maybe thinking of giving Dany the character.
No, it's all North. Okay, no, it's all North. So great part of the episode, but this is just one of the more great parts of the show coming up. So in the North, Jon, Sansa, Tormund, Davos, Lyanna, and the other Northern lords that declared for House Stark have a parley with Ramsay. Harold Karstark and Small John Umber, before they commence battle, are there, and Ramsay offers surrender terms, saying he will pardon Jon for deserting the Night's Watch and the Northerners and Jon's forces for rebelling against him if Jon hands over Sansa. Jon's like, yeah, no, definitely not. And then he offers him a chance in turn to settle their dispute in one-on-one combat. Let's go ahead. Let's do this thing. Me versus you. Let's end this the old way. And Ramsay's like, oh, no, why would I fucking do that?
He's like, I've heard many things about you, man. And you might as well just be the best swordsman to ever fucking live.
Yeah, the way the Northerners talk about you, you might as well be the greatest sword that ever walked.
Yeah. And I love my line is the comeback from Jon here. Will your men fight for you when they hear you wouldn't fight for them? I love the, pre-battle just jabs that they got to get in. They know they're going to go to battle. They know they're not going to settle it this way. It's just to get some intimidation into the other,
I do think I've always really, really liked the Jon, I've heard stories about you, you're the greatest swordsman who ever walked thing. Fell kind of flat for me on this one. Simply because I have no idea who he would have heard that from. To this point, like, Jon's a badass, but every badass thing he's done, no one would believe. The Northerners don't believe.
That is fair. I guess.
And also, he's like, he's also been enemy number one. He was the Lord. He ascended to Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, so that's pretty epic. He did it pretty quick.
Yeah.
But now it's known he deserted, and not only that he deserted, but he brought a force of 2,000 wildlings south of the Wall. Northerners, if I had to guess, the public sentiment of Jon Snow is not high at present.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, we do. Whenever they're trying to rally houses behind him, we get. A guy that's like, are you fucking? I thought the rumors are true. Holy shit, you did bring wildlings down. You are fighting. So like even they didn't fully know.
Yeah.
That this was going on. I guess Ramsay.
That's why I'm like, that's what I think it's a cool little world building moment where they're trying to hype Jon up even more, and it is cool. But I think it's just kind of like. Almost like they're really, really forcing it on you. They're like really trying to push, like, oh, this dude's epic.
Warden of the North, though, and if there were to be anyone in the North that would know, it'd probably be him because he wouldn't let that information out. He wouldn't like tell people, "Hey, there's this guy that is marching south, and his cause seems actually
no doubt.
kind of sick."
It's
So
it's
maybe,
the way he says the way the Northerners talk about you.
that's true. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah.
I mean, like, and it's undoubted. It's undoubted that he's a badass. You know, like you got to be pretty hard. But I do love that line, that the line he returns in favor. You know, like, are your men going to fight for you when they realize you wouldn't fight for them? And then Ramsay's reaction. Oh, he's good.
This guy, wow, okay, I have a worthy opponent, worthy adversary moment here.
Yeah, you know, he looks at Sansa, he's like, okay, I see. And in response, Ramsay threatens Rickon. He's like, so you're just gonna let your brother die then? And Jon and Sansa are wary of whether Ramsay actually has their brother, to which Small John Umber goes ahead and throws Shaggy Dog's head out as proof. And Sansa, you know, she's the one who declines the terms
instantly.
And
Shaggy Dog's head's on the ground, and she instantly is like, "All right, that's all I needed to see."
She delivers my line of the episode because he starts talking. He's like, "So what are we?" And she goes, "You're gonna die tomorrow, Lord Bolton. Sleep well."
Damn.
I was like, "Yeah, that's hard. That's hard."
Yep. Thank you. I love just any clapback that Ramsay can get at all, and it's even better coming from
possibly
Sansa.
The most cathartic episode of this entire show is the ending of this episode. Like, the entire, like, I didn't realize how pent up, like, emotions about Ramsay holding Winterfell and how terrible he is until the end of this episode, when it's all cascading, and I'm like, yes, you know, like, I'm going fucking nuts over here.
Yeah, usually when someone's getting the ever living shit beat out of them and then eaten by dogs, you don't feel happy. But I mean, I am the most joyous.
Smiles, man, all smiles.
I'm like, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's like, finally, it's just, I've been waiting for this for so long, and finally we're getting it.
Yeah, no, man, I love it. But
wow.
Yeah, after that meeting, Jon discusses the battle plan with Tormund and Davos, and Sansa admonishes Jon for attacking too early, insisting that they should have gathered more men. And Jon's like, what are we going to do? We don't have more men. This is as big a force as we are going to have, so we got to fucking go. And a lot of great stuff in Sophie Turner's performance here, where she is she's not perfect at playing the game yet. You know, like, she knows what she has cooking, but she doesn't know what she should share or how she should share it. And so, like, it's just incredible work. I'm going Sansa. I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would. I thought for sure coming into this episode, I was like, this is a Jon Snow fucking episode, and there's no doubt about it. I left the episode with an emphatic, just no fucking doubt in my heart, Sansa fucking Stark, baby. Like, that is my character. Yeah. The way she's like, so you sit around, you're talking about, oh, how are we going to fight Ramsay? How are we going to fight Ramsay? Y'all don't fucking know this guy. You think after one meeting, you got an idea of who you're dealing with. Like, I lived with him. I know what he does. This is not going to be good. You can't. And he's like, so what do you want me to do? What is this? And she says, you know, just don't do what he wants you to do.
He wants you to do. Yeah. And okay, obvious. But like, great advice, you know. I mean, Jon does exactly what
Ramsay
he wants him to do. So I mean, he does it. He just, I mean, there isn't much.
Well, and I love the way he's like underselling Ramsay too. You know, I've defended the wall from worse than Ramsay Bolton. I've fought worse than Ramsay Bolton. Like, and that's the thing. He's like, I know 1-on-1, yeah, you'd give him the work, but we're not talking hand to hand right now, bruh. He's like, so what? You think we should just let Rickon die? And Sansa's like, no, but we're never going to see Rickon again. Rickon's dead. Like, that's
as long as he's alive, he is the strongest claim. Better than
more
you,
so
because
than you,
you're
a bastard, me, a girl.
Me. Yeah, and poor little Rickon. Just
this one actually, it got me a little bit. It got me a little bit.
Oh man, it's like, damn.
It's more, and we'll get there, but Anywho, that scene concludes, and then in the camp, Davos and Tormund discuss their time serving both Stannis and Mance respectively. They discuss how things gone awry, and now they find themselves here. They both acknowledge that they may have been serving the wrong king, and one of them says, perhaps our problem was following kings. And Tormund looks at Davos and goes, "Jon's not a king."
Yeah.
And Davos goes, "No, he's not." So more so than anybody else, Tormund and Davos just get what Jon's about.
They became good friends here. I think they were in the same company as Jon. They were on the same team, but now they're friends. And Tormund's like, "Hey, I got some soured goat milk or something like that." I think he says.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it's way better than this grape shit you fucking Southerners got. Come drink with me. I always like to drink before a night of battle." And Davos just being like, "I'm okay. I like to keep my head clear. Actually, I just like to walk and think. And I like to walk so far. I like to walk so far that no one can hear me shitting my pants or whatever." Yeah, and Tormund just being like, "All right, happy shitting." I don't know. It's just a moment between Tormund and Davos. I really didn't think that they'd be great together, but
it's just one of those little moments where it's like there are just all these little connections in the show, and it's wonderful to see. But as the sun rises, Davos takes a walk, and he comes across the pyre on which Shireen Baratheon was sacrificed, and in the remains finds the wooden stag he carved and gave to her the last time they were together. And he finally now realizes how she died. And that shot of him standing there amid the wreck, the silhouette while the sun's rising behind him, and holy fucking shit.
The horn going off. Yeah, he would have probably gone straight
the horn going off and him looking. I don't everything about this was probably the most satisfyingly photographed part of the episode, and it's just him standing there.
The very slight sunrise.
Yeah. The colors there were fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah. And I think if it wasn't battle time, I think he goes straight to Melisandre right then.
Oh yeah. No, they've got bigger fish to fry, and he knows that. Davos is responsible. He can't do that right now, but he knows that as soon as the battle's over, if he lives through it, he's got something to deal with, and perhaps even giving him a little bit more fuel for survival. I have to
make it through because I have to tell this fucking woman what I think.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But meanwhile,
red woman. Sorry, that sounded weird. Just saying "woman" like that. It sounded. I meant to say "red woman." I don't think red came out, so, that sounded very weird and derogatory a little bit.
But you're all good. But all the while, Jon meets with Melisandre and orders her not to bring him back if he should fall in the battle. He's like, "Don't do that again." Okay.
I thought I was already dead, and now I'm here. If I die, it's just my time, okay? Please, just let me go.
Let's chill, okay? That might be enough, okay? I think Melisandre's like, "Hey, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna lie. There's a reason I was able to bring you back. The Lord of Light's plan for you is probably not done. Hey, he might have brought you back so you could die here. I don't know. He might have brought you back just for this part. I don't know. I just interpret shit, and what he gave me was you. So right now I'm just playing off that, until things change. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. And I love that whole little scene right there. It's interesting to see Jon take a fascination with the Red Woman. There's not a. And obviously, she brought him back to life. There's a fascination
there. Yeah.
But they've had 4 or 5 scenes one-on-one, and every single one of them is massively interesting.
Yeah.
It's the first time they were in that elevator, the next time she tries to seduce him in his office and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, no, can't. Sorry."
No, I can't. God damn it.
But yeah, every single one, it's
it's not that he's like, it's not like Stannis where he's like full in and like just
but he's like,
saying, but he's like, there is something to her that is like,
and I'm willing to bet it's because he is the fucking like, there's a connection there, like something's clicked, like he's like, there's a reason he doesn't kill her next episode, you know, like it's because he's like, and it's not just there's a war coming and we need everybody we can get, you know, like it's like,
I think it was her saying like, he brought you back. There is a purpose for you. And then, you know, when she even says like, yeah, maybe it is just for this battle. Maybe you are just supposed to die. He's like, obviously not. He's like, that cannot be true, you know, sort of thing. I think it's sort of like he has to believe there is a purpose why he was brought back.
Yeah. There's something bigger going on. Yeah. But yeah, then next the armies gather the following morning as Ramsay brings out Rickon. And he's got him tied up, just kind of dragging him behind his horse. And after menacingly raising a knife and watching Jon like come to the front of the lines and everybody staring it down, like, is he really just going to execute this fucking child in front of us to get this thing going? Is that just how we're going to pop it off? Yeah.
Sort of.
He goes ahead and cuts his bonds. And he tells him, do you like games? We're going to play a game. All I want you to do is run as fast as you can at your brother. Go.
Yeah. The sooner you get there, the sooner you can see him. It's a great deal for you. Just go
ahead. And he kind of walks and he looks back and he's like, no, remember, you have to run. And then his homie walks up with the bow and he's like, oh, okay, yep, I'm going to fucking run. Yeah. And Jon, you know, is like, okay, yep. He hops on his horse and takes off. And he tries to save Rickon as Ramsay continues to fire arrows. You know, he's toying with him, misses one, draws another, looks at his homie, pulls it. You know, he's like, he doesn't plan on hitting any of these. And Ramsay appears to have no intention. But as Jon approaches his brother, we see one final rear back, and it misses. Thank God, Rickon's going to be fine. And then the way it just kind of, the moment sucks the air out of you when he just
like, flies back, you know, you just see like it's like there's no shot he's living, you know, it's like, you know, instantly that it's like, yeah, he's done. Like there's no way he's making
it's just the hope being drained from that moment. Like it's not so much like it's sad Rickon dies. This moment made me cry, which I did not think it was going to. It's I think it's more because of the way it's done. Rather
and Jon
than
looking down at him too, like
it's Kit Harington. It's
the life, like drain slow. You know, it's pretty quick that he dies.
And he's just like,
and he's like,
you know, he's looking down at him, and then he looks up.
He's pissed,
and raged. You cut back to Tormund going, don't. And Jon goes, fuck it. I'm gonna fight this entire army myself.
Holy shit!
And he's also given no choice. Yeah, the archers knock, draw, and loose behind him. He can't ride backwards.
That is true. Yeah,
Ramsay is forcing him to run at him. He's like, "This is what I want you to do, and I know you want to do it, but let's just go ahead and do this for good measure." You know, like,
wow.
He rains arrows behind him. He can't go. Like, he can't go backwards, even if he wanted to, and he doesn't. But like,
wow.
And then, I mean, just like the little fucking fuck you to have like 5 more arrows hit Rickon's body. Like, dude, come on. He didn't need that.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really care about killing his own people either. He knock, draw, looses whenever he pleases.
Yeah.
Just.
Oh, dude. And then he's like, Jon charges at the forces alone, and Davos goes, God damn it, prepare to charge! You know, they mount up, and he goes, follow your commander! And I was like, oh, that was hard. I like, it was dumb as hell. It was stupid of Jon, but like, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it, and that was a dope way to say it.
Know, to see your leader charge solo into an army, I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
were
go
already
ahead.
trying
Like,
to-
you follow
it's
him
like,
until the
all
day you
right,
fucking die,
fair
bruh.
enough. It's taking that line of like, hey, will your people fight for you when they hear you wouldn't fight for them? John is actively fighting an entire army on his own
He
right
wants
now.
to fight. He will
Yeah.
face an entire 6,000 man army, as
Mhm.
it was said.
Yep.
But no, yeah,
And
like this just furthers the whole idea that ever since John's been brought back, he is trying to die. Like, he's not
yeah,
going to kill himself. That's not what he's
mhm.
about to do. But if
He
it's his
wanted to
time, it's
find a
his
way
time.
to
Like,
go out knowing he was doing the right thing.
yeah,
But really, I think like this was a suicide mission. This was, I don't care if we don't have enough men. We're fighting now. I don't like it. Doesn't matter.
yeah.
And telling Melisandre, don't bring me back. Don't bring me back, please. Just I'm done. If I die, it is my time. And I think the end. Whenever the next king of the North scene, I think that's finally him being like, maybe I stick with it a little bit. He's like,
Right.
I made it out. Like this is, I think that's the turn. But yeah, he's not wanting to make it out of this. I don't think he's like, if I do, good, I get Winterfell. But like,
Yeah, no. But if I
think
don't, hey, that's it. But the archers ultimately strike the horse that John is on and knock him loose. And John, now defenseless in the middle of the battlefield, watches as the Bolton army charges. And that shot of him, turning all the way around him, and like his face, and then seeing everybody charging at him, and then going behind him, and him drawing the sword and doing his little like feet chop thing where he's ready for whatever, like just chills every single fucking time.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so good. And like every time I watch the like just the clip of it on like Twitter, like it surfaces all the time. I always think that the initial whoosh is like the Knights of the Vale coming in for some reason. I think like that's the savior moment. Is like he is alone. I always forget that it's like the very beginning of the battle, and that's just his army that like clashes at the very beginning. But no, it's just that moment of like he is on the front lines all alone. Like that's if the Davos shot wasn't in there, and if we did favorite shots, like this would probably be it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Like, and I mean, like, even with the Davos, like that's probably the most aesthetically pleasing shot in the episode. This is far and away the most iconic shot from this episode, and one of the most iconic shots of the entire series. So like,
yeah, hard
to pass that up. And even so, there's a few more that are just fucking gorgeous throughout this episode. So, yeah, John brandishes Longclaw. The army smash into each other, preventing John from being slaughtered immediately. And Davos belays his order to his archers to release arrows into the melee of infantry, announcing they would just kill their own men. I love the back and forth where Davos yells knock, Ramsay yells knock. Davos yells draw, Ramsay yells draw, and then Davos goes, don't do it, we're just going to kill our own men, and then Ramsay goes, loose. Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay. That's...
He does not care one bit. Yeah, he's all in. And he knows he has way more men, so he's like, I got some to lose. They're all, I mean, the bodies start piling up, dude.
When we start getting to like hills of men, and people are just... The sheer barbarity of this battle, it's disturbing. Like there's something about this episode that I'd kind of forgotten. I'd always remembered it as, just an epic feat of television, and it absolutely is. Something that I forget every time is that it makes me have an anxiety attack.
It's terrible. Oh my God. There are many times in which it is anxiety inducing. One, you see piles of body being piled up. You see like people trying to put like their guts back into their body, like they're spilling out. And then like I think that the worst part is like when John's at the bottom himself.
Oh yeah, when he's getting trampled, that's when I'm like, I can't breathe.
He couldn't either. Yeah, it's like
the editing is so fucking good. John, Kit Harington's performance is fucking great.
Oh my God, yeah, it is just. Oh my! Like you hear his, like you hear him gasping, and like it's like you're just watching. You're in the comfort of your home watching like just a TV show, and you're like, am I breathing right now? I'm like, am I doing it? Like, I can breathe, right? Yeah, it's oh my God, but no, like just when the first clash, like just seeing the chaos, the pure chaos of battle, and like it's just, oh my god! I mean, there was no
Davos going. We might as well be taking shits back here.
Yeah, I mean, and there are some, far away shots, some wide shots showing the whole thing happen, but a lot of it's just very up close and personal. Like,
the visual effects in this are fucking nuts.
God.
I don't know if you've ever watched a visual effects breakdown of this and just how you can't do this safely.
Yeah, no, not at all. Like the
horses running around and all that. Like you cannot do that, and if you do, people will die. Like that's
holding. I mean, even if they're fake spears.
Yeah,
like you're still charging. I mean,
but there's that shot where like the battle starts breaking out around Jon, and he like steps back and like slices a dude off his horse, and there's horses running in front of him, behind him, someone gets trampled. Like there's not a single horse in that shot.
Oh no shit!
They're all fake.
That's incredible. Wow. I would because there are some real horses, I guess. Yeah, it would just be whenever they're all back, just sitting on them.
Yeah, when they're all and then when they're charging, not when they like meet. Obviously,
single charge.
There's that shot of them like charging at each other, and those are real horses. But like, besides that, there are like no horses in this episode.
That's insane, man. Yes. I mean,
that's the part that visual effects wise is the most mind blowing. Like it's like it looks so fucking good. Wow. And Ramsay's strategy is to build a giant fucking wall of dudes to prevent an escape by trapping them here in a moment. And the Stark forces seem rather unaware as Ramsay develops a sort of impenetrable horseshoe formation of tall shields and spears that surround three sides of the Stark forces against the Death Mound and progressively compresses them into a helpless and dysfunctional mass.
Nope. And, another panic-inducing.
That's a big one. That is a big one.
Yeah,
this simultaneously, Small John Umber leads a group of soldiers across the mound of corpses. When John's like, maybe we can, he's like looking at the Death Mound and he's like, we could probably climb over that. Like if we have to, like there, I went Kit Harington for the performance, and it's further proved later on, but the sheer mindless panic of being in the middle of this battle that he's portraying is fucking incredible. Like, I say he's thinking about climbing over that mountain. Obviously, he doesn't say a fucking thing about that. It's just him going, I could probably climb over those bodies. Like he's like, we could probably figure that out.
He doesn't need to say a word. Yeah, and
there's that moment when Tormund like grabs him and he's like, "Hey," and John's like, he's just fucking standing there crazed and like, oh fucking,
oh my god.
There's a moment in this battle. I couldn't really make it out where a Bolton and a Stark man are fighting, and Jon kills both of them.
I think he kills. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that he does kill a Stark man. Like it's just, how are you gonna know? It's like you know that there is a Bolton. They have their helmets, so it's like that's pretty clear. But like, it's just pure chaos. If you see someone coming at you,
they were fighting. These two dudes were fighting, and then Jon kills one of them, looks at the other guy, goes ahead and kills him too. And I'm like, oh fuck! And that's when Tormund runs over and is like, hey, like, and he's like, it's incredible. Like Kit Harington did some pretty intense work here.
But
you
got it, no doubt. Yeah, you got it.
This
no doubt.
This gets ugly, I forgot that, like, you're there have been multiple points this season where you're like, oh, we're going to lose one of the main characters, there was no fucking shot. They were done for, like they were fucked here.
Closing in, they slowly dying. You even think like, oh man, even like one's not even able to do anything right
I'm
now.
like, one, pick up a shield and whack some motherfuckers, bro, please.
Just turned around, trust fall. He like just fall on him, doop, crushed, stand back up, fall.
Bro,
like
start stomping, G. Do something 1-1. I love you, dog, but goddamn.
I guess they needed a moment of certain death to have.
Very true. Very true. But yeah, panic sets in, and Tormund, sensing that this shit is done for, urges his wildlings to escape.
Yeah.
Fucking run. Fuck this.
Yeah, we're going home. Fuck it. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. And so they begin to run, and Jon is in the midst of a 1v1, and ultimately he can't finish fighting because he gets trampled by his own forces, nearly suffocating under a group of men crawling on top of him. And like, just the sheer panic of this, like, the music is like real soft in this moment. It's not big. It's like, it's sorrowful. Like, Jon's about to die. Like, that is what's happening. Jon's getting trampled. Tormund's getting his shit rocked by Small John Umber, or I can't remember if that's Karstark. I can't remember. But regardless, he's getting his shit thwacked.
Not looking good for anyone.
And Jon ultimately makes it to the top of this scrum, where you just, and like, I was like, yes, peace. But then you like see the shot of him like pulling up, and it's just a bunch of dudes just like wriggling against each other, and I'm like,
like he made it out of that, but still, he's not going anywhere. Like, they're still surrounded. He just didn't die from suffocation. That's like, it's just, he's prolonging it a little bit, is all that it seems. But like that's another awesome shot. Like the overhead, he's in the middle of everyone, and breathing. But it's just piles of bodies. Like, it's crazy. And like, part of Ramsay's plan, like, he was like, I know a shit ton of people are gonna die. We're gonna use that pile of bodies as a wall. Fucking, oh my god.
That's the difference, like, he's willing to plan for shit like that, That's why he's willing to loose a bunch of arrows in there, because it doesn't matter who dies. We just need a giant, like, we have that many expendable men.
Yep. Yeah.
We outnumber them 2,500 to 6,000.
Yeah, living during this time would just suck. If you're not highborn, I mean, you're just literally being sent in for slaughter.
You're a lamb to the fucking slaughter, bro. But at this point, the Starks face imminent destruction, and a horn sounds out in the distance as Sansa and Littlefinger arrive with the Knights of the Vale, waving banners bearing the Arryn sigil. On a horseback, they begin to cut down the Bolton soldiers from behind to disrupt the encirclement. And Small John, momentarily distracted by the arrival, is caught off guard by Tormund, who bites out his throat and then kills him with a knife, stabbing him in the face a bunch.
That was
Tormund's
nice.
like, you fucking idiot. Don't look away from me right now, bro. Like, you're dead.
That was
bro ate his throat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of it too. Like, I mean, he took a big chunk out and then just let him. I mean, it was like a bone knife too. It was like I mean, dude's
it was brutal. It was brutal. R.I.P. Small John Umber. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. But as Ramsay sees this, he's like, oh, yep, that's it. We're fucked. Okay. Retreats on into Winterfell. There's that shot before he retreats where Jon's just staring at him. That was my moment. That was when I really put him down for performance.
Like,
is when he's just looking at him, and he's got he's caked in dirt and blood and mud and everything, and he's just like, okay, like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. And then we get that shot of them all climbing up. 1-1 is up there at the top of the screen. Tormund's at the bottom, and they're like, all right, let's fucking do this thing. And those three take off.
Just them three. I love that. It's like, no one else really with them. It's just, they gotta go.
They are gonna storm the castle. Doesn't fucking matter.
Sansa looking and being like, like this is going well. She's
this is what I want. This is certainly what I want. And Ramsay's generals are like, hey, this battle's lost, buddy. We got to figure something out. And Ramsay's like, they don't have the men for a siege. Like, we're good. We're just stay inside. They'll eventually die out.
Enter 1-1.
1-1 just boom, boom. And Ramsay looking at the door like, oh fuck. Like, oh shit.
Oh my god! He punches 2 holes through the door and he's trying to lift the thing, but ripping his own hand. It's like, God damn.
Yeah, 1-1 underratedly down to ride, which is something I didn't like. I knew he sacrificed himself to break the gate at Winterfell, but like nobody made him do that. Like this is not a Hodor situation, you know? This is not like, somebody was like, oh, you got to do it. I'm going to work into you. No, like 1-1 chose to do this. Yeah. This is something he was willing to do. And the moment once they break through and 1-1 is just like looking at Jon and Jon's looking at 1-1 and they're just like Jon's like, I fucking love you, dog. Like you.
1-1, a real one.
Yes.
You could say, yeah, I mean, till the very end, man. I mean, and he was riddled with spears and arrows, everywhere. And, he's breathing heavy, and you're already like, oh, man, he's probably not going to
He's on his way out. Like, there's no making it out of this. And then as Jon's looking him in the eyes, Ramsay shoots him through one of them.
Of course, you can say Ramsay killed a giant. Of course. The way, like, come the fuck on. Like, you give him one good thing before he goes. Have it be just a random fucking guy, and 1-1 still has a little strength left in him to rip him in half or something, Like, that's what I would have wanted. Not to give Ramsay the credit for being the only Southerner to kill a giant. I guess, no. There was a giant that did die. In the wall, the defense of the wall. They didn't live to tell the tale.
No, they did not, but they got his ass. They got his ass.
Pip? Is that his name?
No, it was Gren. It was Gren. Pip got shot with an arrow through the fucking throat.
That's right.
By Egret, I think.
But 1-1, rest in peace, man. A sad death. A sad one to let go of.
Oh yeah, that was hard. But then my favorite scene begins, where despite the defeat of his army, Ramsay taunts Jon, saying, I've considered a one-on-one combat.
I think that's a great idea now, actually. Let's do it.
Draws his bow, knocks back the arrow. Jon reaches for a shield and blocks it.
Yeah,
he does it again. Shot fire, blocks it.
Yeah. Ramsay's like, 1-on-1. Jon's like, okay, I don't need my sword. I'm just going to pick up this shield, actually. That's all
I'm going to beat you to death.
Mm-hmm. Just the slow walk forward, just the one block. I'm like, no, Ramsay, maybe shoot him in the foot or some shit. You did this 3 times in a row, you fucking idiot. But no, this was a perfect way to kind of end this here. And and man, how satisfying was it just to watch him wail on him? Dude. Oh my god. And I don't know, the moment of Sansa, coming out and watching it, and Jon looking over. What did he stop because he's like, this isn't, I don't deserve to be the one to like kill, sort of thing, or is it like, because in my mind I would have thought Sansa would be like, keep going, like you don't have to stop, sort of thing, like, but it was kind of like he looked over at Sansa and was like, okay, like I
think there's a few things going on here. I think that he's got more honor than Ramsay. General rules of war. This dude's fucked. This dude's beat. And now he's unarmed. And you're not executing him. You are beating him to death. There's a certain barbarity and brutality to that. That I think he also doesn't want. I think he possesses too much self-respect and honor. He possesses too much honor. Yeah. So when he looks at Sansa, I think it kind of snaps him out of this fugue state of crazed war mind. Like seeing Sansa in the castle tells him, oh, it's over. Yeah. We won.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Until then, I think he's like, this is war. I'm going to kill this man. And then looking over at Sansa, she can't be in there if the war is still going on. Like, the battle is over. They've won. There is nothing left for him to do. This guy is done for. And I do think there's also a little bit of that, she'll probably finish the job.
She should probably be the one. to do this, not me. Yeah.
But yeah, more than anything, I think it's just honor. Like he knows the battle's over and there's nothing Ramsay can do at this point. He's unarmed. He's just rocking his shit and he's still alive. And if he takes it any further, he begins to, I imagine he begins to respect himself a little less.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I like that. I can agree.
Yeah, he's grinning through the beating, and he's convinced Jon won't kill him, and the smile is soon wiped off his face as Jon continues brutally pounding again and again, only stopping, finally noticing Sansa, and subsequently orders Ramsay locked up as prisoner. And this moment made me cry when the Bolton banners are torn down and the Stark banners fall over again. That hasn't been the case since season 2.
Yeah. It was like, and like every time we see a banner drop, it's usually a Lannister banner or a Bolt, like the Bolt. Yeah, true. Yeah, or Targaryen. It's like and I guess the Targaryen banners feel okay.
This is different. They've reclaimed their home after so long, man. Like it's a whole different beast.
And just from someone who is undeniably one of the worst characters in the entire show. It's like,
oh yeah,
everything is perfect here. It's going just as we want. If I could, the only gripe, and it's not really a gripe, it's like if 1-1 could have made it out, then everything would have been perfect.
Didn't lose anybody too major besides 1-1.
Yeah, that is
1-1 and Ramsay, which is good. But Melisandre looks over the courtyard while Davos glares at her from below, clutching Shireen's burned stag, and Jon orders Rickon's body to be buried next to his father's in the crypts, as Sansa demands Jon to tell her where he is keeping Ramsay. And that night, Sansa goes to Ramsay's kennels to confront her former tormentor, who was lashed to a chair within the common area of the kennels. And Ramsay, belligerent and sadistic to the end, goads her by telling her now that she will never be rid of him because, quote, he is part of her now. And Sansa retorts that Ramsay's deeds and name will disappear from future memory. No one will ever remember him. Nothing he ever did will be of any satisfaction to anybody. Your name is gone. You're done.
Yeah, and she's right, too. Like, if anything, people remember Roose Bolton for killing Robb Stark, becoming Warden of the North, and then if Ramsay's known for anything, it is killing his own father, becoming Warden of the North for a little bit, and like nothing. But yeah, that's
being defeated in the Battle of the Bastards by Jon Snow.
But yeah, no, probably not even that. It's just,
well, and everything during this time period is so funny too, because there's so much going on in so many different places that it's like, will Roose Bolton ever even be legitimately recognized as Warden of the North?
True. I mean, I am jumping a little bit, but next episode when Sam gets to the Citadel,
they don't even know that yours not Lord Commander
is Lord Commander, and he's like, "Oh, actually, no, he's dead." Then why didn't we hear from the Maester? He's like, "Well, he's dead too." Actually,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like, what a system we have here. If somebody dies, you're fucked. Nobody hears about it. If a Maester dies, you're surely fucked. Nobody's going to hear about shit again.
So yeah, I mean, they don't fucking know what's going on.
That's why I'm like, there's a chance that, like, because Roose was legitimized by Joffrey, and it was under the decree of I don't even know who gave. Was it Tywin? Tywin was the one who gave him that ability.
I think that sounds right.
And Tywin's dead. It's just all like this will just be wiped from memory, like she says, and he then realizes his hounds are slowly surrounding him, and Jon, having deliberately left the kennel doors open to where Ramsay is bound, still covered on his own blood. At first, Ramsay denies his peril, claiming the dogs are loyal beasts, and she's like, they've been starving for a week. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
They're loyal beasts. Oh, they were. Now they're starving. And as they begin sniffing at him and licking their chops, Ramsay's like, "No, heal!" And they refuse to listen. And one of them starts licking his face and gets a taste for what Ramsay's got cooking over there. And then we watch as this dog eats his face.
Bliss. almost like there's angels in the back. I mean, heavenly music going on. It felt like a little. No, it is still brutal, but
oh no, but it's the most satisfying brutality we've ever seen, and of note, it's the furthest we've ever seen hounds take it. As far as what we have witnessed, like they've always cut away. They never let you watch what happens. And we watch this. His jaw gets separated from his fucking face.
Yeah, that might. I was thinking of like, what's the worst? Because Ramsay at the beginning, he's like, I wonder what parts they'll try first, or whatever. And I think that might be the worst place to start. Just ripping your own jaw, just your own mouth.
You are not dying.
Yeah. And I love hearing him scream for a little bit, and just the pure pain he's going through, and and Sansa as well. I
loved
look away until
I loved Sansa. It was I just the most cathartic moment of the entire show here for Sansa, and for us, the viewer. But whenever she's watching, and she watches for about like 5 seconds. And then she turns, and then she goes, "Nope, I'm gonna keep watching."
Yeah, like,
and then
I need this.
Until she watches a little longer, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm good."
Yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead. The dogs are getting their meal now. No need to watch them. Just, I guess, eat him for an hour, straight until he's gone. Or I don't know how long. I don't know how fast do you think he gets devoured? Probably, I'd say like 30 minutes. They got it cleaned up. They got some bones, some tasty bones for him.
Yeah. But we forgot a pretty major death in this one. We said 1-1. Oh, Ramsay, Rickon.
Major, but not major. Poor Rickon. You're just sadly just someone who's pushed to the side a little bit, and you're just thrown into a bad situation, man. Sorry, Rickon.
But we've got our Battle of the Bastards done, and our first 10 out of 10 in both enjoyment and critical on the show.
We didn't think we'd ever be able to say that something's a 10 critically, but
no, I mean we've given several things a 9.75, and rewatching this, I was like, it's better than all of those.
It just is.
It is a better episode of television than those.
I don't. How could you improve? It's like, maybe the one little hole we found was Ramsay being like, "You might as well be the fucking greatest." How he heard about
it, and even that's dope.
Yeah,
like it's not like it was.
It's better. It hypes up the battle even more.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like I like it. I love this episode, and I'm more than satisfied with how it was written, more than satisfied with how it was performed, shot. Genuinely, probably the best looking episode of the show ever.
I mean, this was perfect. This was the best episode of the show, and probably one of the greatest episodes of television.
Oh yeah,
ever. They're like, no matter what show it is, like, this is 6 seasons building up to this moment right here. You have so much history, so much going at stake here. And, I mean, this is 10 out of 10. Jon Snow got my character. Kit Harington got my performance. He got my scene, basically, and he got my line. This was a Jon episode for me. Sansa was close. I'm glad you did.
I gave Sansa the split here. Mm-hmm. I gave Sansa the character and the line. But Kit got the performance and Jon got the scene. Mm-hmm. It's another banger. Have we updated the sheet to reflect the numbers here?
I don't think. No, they're still at 116. So I will I'll bump Jon to 13, and Sansa will be bumped. Let's see, where is she?
She's at the bottom. This is her second.
Oh wow, she's only gotten 1. That's crazy. There we go. Now she will be moved up. Moved up a little bit. And she is tying Dario Naharis, Hodor, Jorah Mormont, and Brienne of Tarth right now.
Good company to keep. I imagine she will be picking up a few more character nods as the season goes on, or as the show comes to a close.
And
no, man, it's
goes above Peter Dinklage. He was tied with Peter Dinklage at 11, and now he's at 13. He's in third place now, only below Lena Headey and Emilia Clarke. So there we go. That is all of the tallies added there. 118. The totals look good. I hope so.
Yes, they do. They look good. But yeah, with that, we will conclude our New Year episode for the Battle of the Bastards. If you would, head to patreon.com/PennyBloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, all sorts of book reviews, comic book reviews, movie reviews, and the like. For $3 a month, you can support this podcast financially, which is huge because it costs me money and I don't make any off of it unless it's over there. Head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast, follow on Letterboxd at PennyBloomPod. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review wherever it is that you might be listening and to continue to download. We will be continuing our Game of Thrones rewatch, Winter is Blooming, next week with the season 6 finale. We will be concluding this season, one of the great seasons, one of the great finales of the show. So super excited for the Winds of Winter. Ready to see a House of Worship go. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we will also be continuing our comic book movie journey through film, as this week begins us trying to knock out a little bit more than we've been doing in the past. We're going to start doing 2 a week for the next couple months, Wednesday and Friday. We're going to knock out 2 months off the end of this project, kind of move it up a little bit, which will be a huge help. And this week brings us
Captain America, the First Avenger, and
yes.
Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance.
Quite the duo there. Captain America 1, Ghost Rider 2.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. That's what we got this week. And like I said, come back next week for the Winds of Winter. But with that, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And you're going to die, Lord Bolton. Sleep well.